I'm gonna start on making the luggage rack for this thing. I'm gonna mount it here, bring it up, so that'll hold the saddlebags out, and then make a luggage rack that goes around. I'll also mount it down here too. Got some scrap pieces of stainless over here for the brackets where it mounts. Gonna mount behind the passenger pegs, and then I also have some stainless tubing I'm gonna use. So start messing with that and see what happens. The Norton. All right, I got the passenger foot peg off. So the stainless steel plate bracket I'm gonna make is gonna mount here, and then that will go back on over it. I will need to get some longer hex head bolts, but so I'm gonna measure center to center and then put it on my piece of plate, and then drill those out, cut it out, and then go from there. Okay, so I got my first bracket laid out in a center punch, and then drill them out, then cut it out and see how it lines up. Got one side drilled and cut out. Let's see if it lines up. Sure does. It's not gonna go this way, it's actually gonna go that way, but I need to make a bend in it. Right there, bend it out, kick it out a little bit, and then bend it back again another 90 degrees like that. So if you're looking at it from the top, it'll kind of be like a Z. So I'm gonna do that next, clean up the rough edges a little bit, and go from there. Benny, what's up, bud? Okay, so I got one bracket on there. Still have to make a bend, so bend it another 90 degrees right here. Back up for a second, Benny. Go on. And bring this out this way, and then I'll get this tube tacked on there and start bending this. I got that other 90 bent in it, and I'm not using anything fancy. I don't have any specialized tools. I'm using a bench vise, a grinder, just a regular handheld drill, what have you. I have a little TIG welder that's good enough to do this kind of stuff. But anyway, we're gonna line up the tubing. We wanna make sure that we can still access the seat release without having to move any of this luggage rack I'm making. So it looks like be able to get the key in there like that. So I'll get this, take this off, tack it into place, and then this isn't the pipe I'm using, but cut the piece I need and then tack it into place and keep moving. This piece tacked in, I'm gonna make a relief cut right here and then make a bend, bring it out level for the luggage rack. Then we'll start wrapping it around the other side. By the way, all this stuff is scrap metal. I'm making it all out of scrap metal, so there may be some funny cuts and splices put in, but you know, I'm not paying $1,800 for Ducati. Making it myself, making it from scrap. So let's keep rolling. So we got the bend here in it, and then bent here. Welded in a wedge there from where I made the relief cut like that. So I got to make another wedge right there to weld in, and one here. Make the same bend right here going down, and it looks like I'm gonna have to scab in a piece here for when I make this other bracket, and then we'll make another cross tube right here that will bolt into these up here, give it some extra support, and then also we'll put some cross tubes through here too. But moving on. Got the final bend in. I got a wedge cut for this one here. Gotta weld that one in. Cut a wedge for there and there, and then make the other bracket. Figure out how much I need to splice in to finish it, and that's probably where I'll stop for the day. And then the next video will be making the cross member going here. That's gonna bolt into these two. Then I'll make some little gussets to weld in here for extra support on both sides, and then some cross tubes. And then we still have to bring it down a little bit like that to keep saddlebags from moving into the path of travel of the swing arm. And that'll be job done. All right, got the wedges welded in. Not the prettiest welds, but it's been a long time since I've done stainless. And I'm just using a little janky amateur type welder, TIG welder I got off of Amazon years ago. But came out pretty good. Gonna make that other bracket now and finish tying it in, and then that'll be a job done for today. And I know people probably want to see me actually doing the bending and the welding and the drilling and the cutting and all that. Next video I will show that. I just, for the sake of time, I'm just doing it, cutting it, and then showing you as it progresses. All right. Making the second bracket here. Little tapping fluid. I've already center punched it, drilled it with a smaller bit, stepped up to the bigger size, and then now to the final size. So I got the mark where I want to make my first 90, get my speed square, put the line straight across, put it in the vise. Now I'll get a hammer and kind of fine tune that bend. See, when we put this up, the bracket hits the body right there. So we'll just take the grinder and whittle away until it fits in there without touching, just like we did on the other side. And then we'll make the final bend and get that other piece scabbed in and get this tacked in. You can see on the back of the footrest, passenger footrest, how it has the gusset that protrudes a little bit. So you have to cut the bracket out to fit that. I'll take the floppy disk, and clean it all up, and then also put that little groove in it for the body work. Okay, so I got this second bracket fitted in there. I got the room for the body work, room for the gusset on the back of the passenger foot peg mount. Next, I'm just gonna make a mark where I want to bend my second 90, and I'll bend that, get everything lined up, get a measurement, and splice that in, and then tack it to the bracket. Moving on. Prepare to watch me struggle. Make sure we're doing this right. bike's pulled down on me a little bit. Let me readjust. A little bit more. Let's take a look. Yeah, there we go. Got the step in it. And we'll tweak in to straighten it how it needs to be, and then we're ready to move on to the next step. Got that other piece scabbed in. Got a pair of vice grips holding it to the bracket. I'm just going to make sure everything's level before I tack that on there, so I can do any final tweaking that I need to do. So I'm going to throw this level on there, stand the bike up, and just see where I'm at. It looks pretty good. I'm happy with it. So I'm going to pull it off and tack that bracket on, and that will be it for the day. In part 2, we'll put the cross members in up there, the cross tubes up there, and then run one through here with some stanchions that are going to bolt in. Let me see here. Onto these two right there, so you have a tube coming across with some stanchions. Then I'll just get some extended bolts to run up there. We'll also put these gussets, cross tubes there, and then make some standoffs to hold the saddlebags away from the path of travel of the swing arm.